Hey guys, Lewis here from thelanguagescientist.com, and in today's video I'm going to do a Rocket Languages Japanese review. So this is a review of the Rocket Japanese language learning program. I'm going to review the entire program and I'm going to be answering multiple questions. Two questions. Number one is can you actually get fluent just using Rocket Japanese? Like if you were to actually get into the program as a total beginner and do the entire thing, like follow the instructions to the T, are you going to be able to have fluent conversations with Japanese speakers? And the goal here is really conversations. I'll explain that a little bit later, but with Rocket Languages, the focus is on conversations. So you're not going to be like not necessarily like native level Japanese, far from that, but are you actually going to be able to have conversations with Japanese people using Rocket Japanese? The second question I'm going to answer is how do you get the best price possible for Rocket Japanese? Because Rocket Languages, the company behind Rocket Japanese, actually has these different offers, and so depending on when you access, when you buy Rocket Japanese and where you buy it from, you may get a drastically different price. All right, so I'm going to use my experience as a language learner. I've learned multiple languages to pretty high levels. So like English, for example, this is my second language. My native language is French. I had to learn English on my own. And so I know what it takes to actually learn a language and get to a very high level. I also learned Japanese. My Japanese is not as great as my English, but I've learned it to a pretty high level. I'm able to have conversations comfortably with Japanese speakers. And so I'm going to use that experience in order to evaluate the viability of Rocket Japanese. All right, so I'm going to give you the TLDR first, the sort of my overall opinion on Rocket Japanese. If your goal is to go to Japan and like go to college in Japan or make use of Japanese in like a business context, more like academic Japanese or more formal Japanese, then Rocket Japanese is probably not going to be for you, because this is more of a, I want to say, casual program, although it's not really casual, but the emphasis really is on just everyday normal kind of conversation. This is not to say that you're not going to learn like polite formal Japanese, but that is not the main focus. Rocket Languages, Rocket Japanese is much more about being pragmatic and actually learning to speak with Japanese people. So as I said, not for you if you want to learn academic Japanese necessarily. That's not going to be the focus. But if you want an all-in-one tool to learn conversational Japanese with all of the resources that you need, then this is definitely one of the best tools on the market, in my opinion. All right, so now let me get a little bit into the cost first. So I'm on the website here and I'm going to go on the Rocket Japanese pricing page, and actually I have included a link in the description of this video which is going to lead you to the pricing page with a discount applied potentially depending on when you actually access the website. So I'm going to go on the pricing page here. I'm going to click and you'll see that there are multiple plans. I'm going to click on pricing. Where is the pricing? Oh, there you go. Okay. So currently, if you click on the link in the description, you will probably have an offer. I'm going to show you the different pricing plans here. The most common pricing plan, and as a matter of fact, the one that I will just assume that you're going to get, because I suppose everyone gets like the 3 levels, that's this one here. So you get level 1, 2, and 3. So this is the entire program essentially, and this is going to set you back $259 with the discount applied. This may sound very expensive, and it is somewhat of an investment, but keep in mind that this is a one-time payment, so you don't have anything that you need to pay for after paying this one-time fee. That is very much unlike other programs which make you pay stuff like it's like monthly subscriptions, which end up being just as expensive, or at least it ends up costing a lot of money, and when you stop paying, you actually stop you don't have access to the program anymore. With Rocket Languages, with Rocket Japanese, you just pay once and you have access to the program for life. You also have the option to buy just level 1 and 2. I don't really see the appeal here. It's almost the same price as level 1, 2, and 3. Or you can buy just level 1. It's not going to get you very far. They say beginner to intermediate, but they're trying to sell their product here. I think overall, if you do level 1, 2, and 3, you're going to go up to like maybe upper intermediate. Now, the level 1, 2, and 3 pricing plan is $259, which may seem like a lot, but when I'll show you like the dashboard and the amount of content that is in there, you have enough content to actually last for an entire year of self-studying. And if you just follow everything to the T, you're really going to hit the ground running with your Japanese. All right, so this is the pricing here, and remember that you can actually, if you click the link in the description, take a look at the pricing, and you can actually do a free trial if you don't necessarily, if you don't know if this is for you yet. But I'm going to show you some of the features of Rocket Japanese. All right, so we're that was the pricing plan. Now I'm going to go back to my dashboard here and show you how Rocket Japanese is organized. So Rocket Japanese is organized in sort of like 3 levels, like there's a depth of 3 levels. So you have level 1, level 3, and level 2, and level 3 here. So those are the main levels that you're going to get. This is like the main content. There's another section here, play the part trial. I think this is like a bonus section that you can get, but most people are just going to get level 1, level 2, and level 3. This is really the main stuff. And so those levels are actually divided into modules. So level 1 has 9, level 2 has 8, level 3 has 8. I'm going to click on level 1 here and go to module 1. And the modules are then broken down into individual lessons. So you have audio lessons, you have language and culture lessons, and then you have writing lessons. Overall, there are about 12 to 15 lessons per module. So if you have, say, 8 modules per level, each module is like let's say 15 lessons. So 8 times 15, it's like 120 per level. So you have 3 levels, that's 360 lessons in total. If you do 1 lesson a day, that's going to last you a year. And so that's pretty much what it is. All right, so now I'm going to get into the specifics of a lesson. So this is actually the Get Started section. This is a little bit special. I'm just going to go to a normal module, so module 1 here. And I'm going to click on the first lesson here, which is an audio lesson. Now, Rocket Japanese has 3 types of lessons: the interactive audio lessons, the language and culture lessons, and the writing lessons. This is the first type of lesson here, the audio lessons. So these are like interactive audio lessons. All right, so sorry I was interrupted in this video, but actually, as I was saying, there are 3 types of lesson: the interactive audio lessons, language and culture lessons, and the writing lessons. The audio lessons, or as I like to call them, interactive audio lessons, are sort of, I would say, the most valuable kinds of lessons, although the other types of lessons are also valuable. But here, the lessons, which last for about 20 to 30 minutes, it depends on the lesson, they're centered around a conversation in Japanese between 2 Japanese people. And then you have a host that is going to explain to you some of the concepts of what is being talked about. If I click on the play button here, it's going to play the lesson. The great thing, and I can't emphasize this enough, what I really like about this is that you can actually download those lessons for offline listening. You can use the mobile app, or you can actually download the MP3 file from the website. And obviously you can use the website from your computer. Now these interactive audio lessons are very interactive, so you're going to be prompted to participate and repeat stuff. It makes it very engaging, and it makes you remember things much better. And after the lesson, you actually have a section in the lesson here called Play It, which allows you to actually play the part of one of the characters in the lesson. So I'm not going to play it here because you're not going to hear what was going to happen. Actually, you know what? Let's try it out anyways. I'm going to click on play as Kenny, and you may not be able to hear it here. But yeah, so Sakaya said her part, and then I'm going to say hajimemashite. There you go. So I'm just playing the conversation as one of the characters. This is hugely valuable. Other websites do not do this. With Rocket Japanese, you actually get the opportunity to participate in a conversation in real time. It keeps you on your toes, and it's really great. You're like simulating an actual conversation. So these are interactive audio lessons. I'm going to go back on the dashboard to show you the second type of lessons. You have language and cultural lessons. I'm going to click on that lesson here. And these are essentially, like the textbook part, the textbook lessons of Rocket Japanese. So you have a bunch of, grammatical points that are going to be introduced. And it may seem like the page is pretty long, but actually it's because there are lots of audio players embedded, and you can actually record yourself, and Rocket Japanese has this pronunciation grading tool, which is not perfect, but it's going to detect like the big mistakes that you're going to make. And so the lessons, the pages are kind of long, but it's because of the audio players for the most part. And so compared with a textbook equivalent, the grammar lessons are actually shorter. Rocket Japanese actually does a very good job of breaking down the grammatical points into more digestible chunks. And then at the end of the lessons, you're going to have the cultural points, as you can see here, bowing culture in Japan. So this is about stuff that you may need if you actually go to Japan. You need to understand some of the culture. The cultural points are somewhat, more. They're just like little points. There's much more grammar than there's like cultural information, and I think that's a great thing. The main goal of people going into Rocket Japanese should be to learn Japanese, not learn about Japanese culture that much. All right, so these are the language and cultural lessons, and then eventually I'm going to talk about the third kind of lessons, the writing lessons. So the writing lessons actually are going to cover everything that you need to know about the writing system of Japanese. So it's going to start out with hiragana, and then katakana, and then kanji, the much harder kanji. So what you get in the writing lessons, very simple. You get the lesson, you get also the audio players again to tell you how things are pronounced, especially in the case of hiragana and katakana. And then, very valuable, you actually get videos showing you in which order you should actually, draw the strokes of every single character, which is really great. You don't need to look for that anywhere else. And so these are the writing lessons. Pretty simple, pretty effective, and that is essentially it. All right, so I think I have reviewed pretty much everything. As I said, Rocket Japanese is a very good tool if you really want to hit the ground running and learn Japanese. If you do one lesson a day, it's going to last you for an entire year, and you're going to be paying about $259 if you have the offer. Once again, there's a link in the description of this video if you want to go to the pricing page with an offer. So one lesson a day, 1 year, $259. Overall, it is an investment, but it's much less expensive than actually having to attend classes and having to drive to the local college or local classes. So that's it. If you want to know more about me and the videos I make, you can check me out on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, or you can go to thelanguagescientist.com and I'll see you on the next one.